It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
We forgot how to count. Welcome to Friday's Blast Off. And you know, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow.
I'm trying.
What is it with you? It's just, why are you rubbing the chair? Take it
Because
easy.
we haven't had this many people in here in a long time.
Since yesterday, to be precise.
Yeah, I'm still
Well,
recovering from
you even had
yesterday.
more, but this used to be our Friday Blast. And then after this show, we used to recuperate, and then these knuckleheads used to come in at 6 o'clock.
That is true.
Forget about it. Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy,
I haven't seen it like this in a while.
which is good.
You're making me a little nervous, is all I can tell you. Shabbat shalom. All right, I have a
Got a
question
monk
for
and a
you.
priest and
So there's a
rabbi.
little bit of cake left over, and I'm watching them
Nobody
take...
will touch it.
Oh, no, it's gone.
Oh, somebody ate it.
There was this much cake. It came out of the refrigerator and into the refrigerator and out. And by the third person I took it out, I said, please just finish that. So he finishes the cake. And I look under the table and I said, there's a gold ball under the table. Literally, this beautiful gold ball was under the table.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it came from. I've never seen it before. I don't know how it got here, nor do I know how it ended up rolling under the table.
Do you remember the stand that had the 8? It was in the bottom of the stand.
It was at the bottom. That was a balloon stand.
Yeah, but it had the ball.
If you break it open, there's a 10-millimeter socket in there.
I'm like, wow, what's in this ball?
It's
So
a
that means-
dinosaur egg.
So that means that's been under there for.
Dawn,
Do you know where this came from?
yes, I do. Let me show you. Let me show you where it came from. Let me show you where it came from.
It's a gold ball for
Why do you spend time worrying about
Because
that?
I just wonder. There's so many things that happen in the studio that I can't even keep track anymore of. Little
What,
things
you
like
think
this.
somebody dropped a stone or something?
It's like a dinosaur egg, a gold ball. I don't know. I'm going to give it to your mom. Maybe she can repurpose it into something beautiful. I can hang it around my neck or something.
Exactly.
A Jay Ortman in the house. I'll make a piece of jewelry, an earring. You never know.
You're going to have a long ear.
Long here. Anyway, things to make me
But thank you for
scratch my
catching
head and
us
go
up.
why.
Appreciate that.
Pondering and go why.
Well, we got a lot of people in here.
We've got big events happening on Sunday. We've got people that texted me and say, Freddie's got a blast off on Friday at 11:30. How long should I plan on being there? I said,
Until the blast over.
Freddie, we're having a blast off on Friday. He says, no, a launch.
I have 4 launches.
A launch.
I got 4 launch.
What's your launch? Launch.
We'll get to that. But I got 4 launches. I got 4 launches. And the funny thing here is, and I'm going to take advantage of the fact we're going to be hanging out with the man Ken on Sunday.
Yeah.
And everybody's invited to come and join and hang out 11 to 3, right?
11 to 3, yes.
At Boca
Luna Lux Lounge in Meisner Park.
And then what I want to do is, because I have Janet sitting over there, poor Janet had to do the Latin show this morning by herself.
She did a nice job.
She did a great job, but she expected some wine, and it was a little short in the wine. So we're going to be going up to Lake Worth, the wine bar, to do a Friday matinee. We're going to go from 9 to 2. We just have to pick the date. And it has to be in October, correct?
Yeah, so
September's
she's
almost
agreed, our guest today at Impulso Latino TV agreed to have our whole lineup on one Friday in October. So that'll be fun. It's Cugini Wine Bar and Art Gallery in Lake Worth Beach. So that'll be a fun time, and it's really pretty. So the backdrop will be interesting.
So I want to set this up because what I want to do is what we did at Junior's in Meisner Park.
Okay.
We got there at 9 o'clock and we went all the way to 10 o'clock at night. We did show after show after show after, remember this? And people kept coming in and then nobody would leave. And the owner says, yo, Freddie, you got to get these people out of here. I says, you get them out of here. So I want to do the same thing with the wine bar. I want to do the 9, the 11, the 12, and maybe Jay's 3
Actually,
o'clock.
Jay's art's going to be up there already. He's taking some of the pieces up there today.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Isn't it? I didn't know anything about this was coming up, and I was already accepted in this art show.
So that piece.
So wait,
behind
you're
you is
displaying there?
He's displaying there.
He's displaying art. That piece
Oh,
behind you is
wow.
going up, and then there's another piece.
Another piece I have
that
that
you
I'm
have
bringing in.
that's going to go up.
It's called, they're having a show, it's called West. And
Yes.
They want shows that represent Western
The
art.
Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
She was just telling us about this at Impulso Latino. That's incredible.
And did she know that the artist is here?
She has no idea. She's
She
not
had no
here
idea.
anymore. She had no idea that the artist was here.
It's a top secret thing.
That's what it is. So,
Only I knew.
so the blast floor, there's the fuse. See, it just gets better.
I see
It's a
that.
whole lot better. But that's what I meant by blast floor, because people are telling me more and more things that we're going to be covering and doing and covering. We got these gentlemen, we're going to be talking about how this affects some people in the studio as well. And over there,
Okay,
some
Jay
other
drinking the coffee right now. How do you like it?
It's good. It's great. It's,
He's double-fisted in his
actually
coffee.
it's something kind of different. You know, I mean, I'm used to mocha coffee, but this isn't the same. This is really
That's
good.
mushroom
Not that mocha
coffee.
coffee isn't, but this is good.
Yeah.
Mushroom.
Oh, your art's gonna look real different now.
No, Rich. Rich, not those kind of mushrooms.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. It would be interesting to put that mushroom in this mushroom and see what
It's
kind of
got
mushroom you get.
mushroom, it's got cacao.
That would
it's
make
got a
for
lot
an
of great
interesting show.
ingredients that we're going to talk about in a little bit.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff coming forward. Lots of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
New ideas, new venues, new this, new that. Gio's coming in, by the way. Thanks a lot. And he's actually watching.
Awesome.
He's going to come in for that event.
Well, I think that's a huge event, and he should be here with us because we've got a couple great big things that we're putting together for Amp Media Futures Foundation, and we're going to let you all know as soon as we get them solidified. But they're going to be happening in October, so some events in Fort Lauderdale and some other things we're putting together. Gio should be there. We're entering into some competitions, some good stuff.
So what I like to do is have the Friday club so that we can take... Why are you laughing? Why is she laughing? Don't laugh. And you take people all over the place, because if you have an event, right, and you want to make an announcement, isn't it better like to go to wine bars and convention centers and thousands of people or hundreds of people or even one person you can talk to? Isn't that better to do than to Facebook all the time? I mean, you're hoping people show up, but if you're skin to skin, it's better.
I absolutely agree with that. That's one of the things that with my event that I did, that I really feel was made the difference in getting people to go. First of all, I go to the people that I know go to events. Then the other thing was I contact people directly and do that old school guerrilla marketing to be able to get people to come out to the event. So I'm with you on that. I'm very old school with that. People like to know that, you know, that they're thought about. It's more of a relationship thing than just, hey, go to my event. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, come to my event because it'll benefit you here, here, and here.
And
So
there's
yeah,
no
I agree
bigger
with that.
gorilla than you. I mean, you do a nice job when everybody, I see all the social media people talking, oh, Kenny's back, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and you do runway modeling, you do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I'm actually working on a new line. I do have invites to some of the other shows. I have an invite to come back to Miami. I have gotten invites for New York, Paris, and LA Fashion Weeks. So I want to be able to get my new line out so I can start doing them, but it's been difficult between filming, trying to produce more products, and just putting networking events together. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy year.
Well, tell us about the event on Sunday.
So Sunday is going to be an event. It's the second installment of the event. It's called The Art of Networking. I named it The Art of Networking for two reasons. The number one reason is I actually was the featured artist at a show called The Art of Brunch. And so I always thought the name was cool. And I've always said that there is an art to networking. And so being an artist, I was like, you know what, the art of the entertainment industry, you have music, you have fashion, you have art, you have movies. And so I wanted to be able to put together the people that are doing the most in those fields, especially down here in South Florida. We don't have a lot of incentives, so we're kind of stuck, not being able to, you know, get grants or financial assistance down here to make movies, to make videos, and do all these different projects that all these different types of artists do. So the thing is that even without the incentives, we're still doing it. We're still creating. We're still making it happen. So I looked at everybody that I've done work with from the movies, from the art industries, from music and fashion, and I said, well, since these are the people that are actually putting everything together down here, they're making movies, they're making fashion shows, they're, you know, making music for the movies and for, you know, these videos. why not get them all together and say, hey, listen, you guys should all work together, because if, let's say, you make them, like, right now I have 4 movies on Amazon Prime, and I look at those movies and I think to myself, man, you know, I've gotten some of my fashion in it, I've gotten some of my mugs in there, but what about other artists? What if I can help them? Because now my art's not always going to fit the scene. So, you know, his art might fit the next scene. Now I can introduce him to the director and say, hey, listen, this guy's art is going to work for it. And what about the fashion? You know, there's so many sets that I've been on that they were like, hey, can you bring your clothes for wardrobe? You know what I mean? And imagine if we have all these fashion designers down here that could be providing clothes for wardrobe. And so you look at the music that could be in the movie was from the musicians down here. The art can be from the artist, and the fashion could be from the fashion designers. Then everybody's going to promote that project. And so since we're in South Florida, we have enough people to put that all together and make an amazing project. We don't need the incentives. If we all push each other, we can make it. And that's all.
Absolutely.
Now, I got to tell you, one of the things that shocked me when I saw it is that you have these pieces where you say, come and meet a networker.
Yes.
And you put Richard.
I did.
And I'm saying to myself, and I blew it up. It's in a poster coming at theater near you. And I said, wow, look at this. And here's Richard, and you put the bio and everything else. And I thought that was kind of different. You know, you go to a networking party, right? Bring a lot of business cards, because that's really what a lot of people do. And then people take it and throw it in there and throw it there. Maybe they call, boop, like you did with the guy from ABC. He was shocked that you even called. But you put Richard, and I got to thinking, I said, you know what? That's a good way to start. Because exactly what you just said, now Richard and Frank, they do a show as well. They do their thing, and they're participating in this. So now I look at Richard all totally different. Now I think he's a networker.
He is, though. You know, I'll tell you what, this guy, and I wrote on there, the guy who knows everybody, because even outside the entertainment industry, there are so many people that I know that I would say their names, and Richard's like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. And I'm like, why do you know that guy? You know what I mean? Why do you know that girl? From people in the medical field to, we talked about Jerry Gladstone recently that we knew. So it's like I've always knew these different people. But, you know, the reason I started doing that, everything that I built off Magchop was built off of networking events and meeting people and building these relationships with people over the last 10 years that, you know, when I come to them, they know I'm going to do good business. They know I'm going to provide a good quality show on whatever I do. And so you build that rapport with these people. But one of the things that I learned as you're going to networking events, you start learning who you can and can't talk to or you want to talk to, because if there's someone that's exactly where you are, yeah, you can meet them, but you guys are both looking to meet the same person. And so after a while, you start attending more and more of these events, you start learning who is the people you want to talk to. So I thought about, okay, well, I'm going to create the event. I'm going to put this in the thing. I'm going to put different people each day. And I do it 2 weeks before the event, saying this is this person, this is who they are, this is what they do. So that the people who are going to attend the event, they can look at it and go, oh man, I do need to meet that person. Now when they get there, they know a face that they're looking for. They have at least a little one-up on where I started. And so the whole purpose of this is to be able to give that people the one-up and give everybody an opportunity to meet the biggest people that are producing down here and work together with them.
It's good stuff.
How many people are you expecting on Sunday?
I don't know. So when I did the
idea.
first one, I had been to so many different events, and when I did the first one, I linked up with Richard and Frank, and I was like, you know, bring Florida Art Networks into this, let's do it. And so we expected maybe like 25 to 30 people. There was over 80 people that showed up. And then with this one,
Nice of them.
yeah, it really was. It came out really well. I was really excited. And so with this one, I want to do something a little bit bigger. So I talked to Florida Art Network again, and then we talked to Kimberly from Flow Film Festival, and she was all in. So thanks to Kim. And so now we're able to get, because I would go to these events, and sometimes people that were at my events, they weren't at this event. People at this event weren't at my event, or you had a whole other event over here that, you know, I didn't know any of the people from the 2 previous events. So I was like, you know what? Let's get all these people together, because they do go to the events. These are all the people that are serious about trying to make something happen. Let's put them all in one room and see what kind of magic
You
comes
also
out.
have Dining Divas coming, and you have,
Yes.
and there's another company, I think.
Dining Divas is coming. The whole crew. They're actually, some of them are flying in. I've got actors coming in from New York that are going to be here. I mean, people from Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade are
Well,
coming
we're going
up.
to be there.
You guys will be
Some of
there.
our crew's going to be there.
Yes.
Khalil Ali called me yesterday. She'll be there.
Awesome.
She's
Mama
looking-
Ali, I
I
called
love
her
Mama
the other
Ali.
day. I asked her, I said, where are you, China? I said, oh.
She got back. She
She
got
got back?
back. Yeah, she's back. She called me yesterday. So it's going to be cool. It's a lot of good
Is
people
it a free
coming.
event? Is it tickets? How does it working?
So it is a free event. You can walk right in. Once you come in, we'll greet you. And what we're going to do is, I don't like doing the hello, my name is stickers. So I made lanyards for everybody. So everybody have a lanyard, so it'll be easy to identify who is in the event. They are giving us special prices on the food and drinks. So there'll be a special drink menu and food menu for those of you guys want to buy food and drinks. But
Nice.
to enter, it's free. Just come on in.
Very nice.
That's nice.
Frank's going to be there. Rich is going to be there. Those
Kimberly's
three
gonna be
crazy
there.
Ladies back there are going to be there.
Be there.
Maybe Janet, you'll
Everybody
come.
back here is going to be there.
The whole crew.
The whole crew.
That's
gonna
how
be
we
good.
met Janet, was at that place, right?
Yeah, we met Janet at
At the
another
Boca.
event over there.
Yeah.
They do a lot of events.
They do a lot of events, yes. But this is a special one because this one, it touches home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history that I have with Kenny when he was in here doing his thing with the Sixth Borough and Joe and all of them.
Oh yeah, Joe will be there. Joe, Nico,
I'm sure.
the crew will be there.
I'm sure. I don't know if, is the niece going to be there?
I invited her. I hope she comes. It'd be nice to see her. I haven't seen her in a while.
That whole crew, but that was wild. If you were here on a Friday night from 6 to whenever, it was just wild.
Ask G-Man, he'll tell you all about it. Friday night.
Well, G
Oh
was
yeah,
the
we had wild shows.
G-Man was the producer. He was the producer on that show.
Listen, we want to come back. Don't worry. We're in talks. We're trying to get everything right.
And the funny thing is that even the radio station says, "What happened?"
I know. Let me tell you, I was surprised at how many people have come to me and been like, "Hey, you guys got to come back on the air," because they were like, "I love the show."
Now, do we got to take a hard break?
We should take a commercial break.
All right, so let's take a hard break.
We
Because
come
I want
back.
to talk about something else.
We're going to talk about something else.
On that whole thing.
On that
Oh,
whole
boy.
thing.
Don't repeat me.
Uh-oh.
I'm just following.
Why are you repeating
I'm not
me?
going to repeat you. I'm just following the
Say
flow
blast
on
off.
what you got to do on his Friday 11:30 blast off.
There you go.
More to come. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Brooklyn Cafe TV for exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Like and subscribe in Amp Media Productions. Be able to follow us on shows like The Artist Loft, Impulse Latino, Gypsy Soul, and many, many more. More to come. We'll be right back.
Amp Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
Give me the mozzarella. 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 Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Now, I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. And that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more.
Call 800-920-3819.
Frank A. Ruffolo, a renowned author and screenwriter known for his books such as 10048, Blue Falcon, Memoir of a Soldier, and his latest, Samuel of Sarah. Check out his website, frankaruffolo.com, for more info or purchase his books on Amazon.
Amp Media Futures Foundation is a non-for-profit organization dedicated to providing college students with immersive opportunities in media production, marketing, business skills, and communication.
Interns will learn professional workflow skills in editing, video and radio broadcasting, public relations, digital media, graphic curriculum, and access to equipment to make a positive impact.
Amp Media Productions is a full-service production house with a variety of shows ranging from the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a very busy Wednesday.
Sarah Spiritual.
Right here on the Oldies station, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
Call me Zena.
By example, and that's what I try to do all the time, to teach by example.
Artist Loft.
Using that term more. Yeah, lofties, yeah.
And Gypsy Soul.
They love music. It's like their favorite thing to go to.
I teach like preschool up to 12th grade.
Yeah, nice.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Amp Media Productions. Please like and subscribe to all of our shows.
I want to be in first class. Champagne, please.
Giant comfort.
That's good. We offer opportunities to excel in the field of TV film production, social media management, video editing, set design, graphic design, sound engineering, journalism, and many more useful tools to help you land a career in the media business.
To volunteer or be a part of our team, or to make a donation of any size, please visit us at ampfutures.org. Help us to empower college students to create a positive impact with immersive hands-on experiences in media production. Help us amplify the future.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
The hospitality committee, how's that going?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm a little bruised.
Well, you kind of missed a lot that was going on here during the commercial break.
And I made coffee and I don't have mine.
I was
Hello.
gonna say, where's your coffee?
It disappeared.
It's in the microwave.
Yeah, the blue one. You see it?
So what you've missed for a bird's eye view is the women are back there and the guys are here watching the women back there. Kind of goes back to our conversation of yesterday,
Which is?
which is what we talked about with Danny, was polyamorousness.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
You missed commercial break is what it has to do with everything.
I don't know what that means, polyamorous, when you're talking about those people.
Well, you've got Hannah's giving Alicia, you know how Alicia's always massaging people? Now you've got Hannah massaging Alicia.
No, you don't
And
understand.
Alicia is laying on Kimberly's lap.
No, you don't
And
understand.
all the men are sitting here just laughing.
All I got to say...
And you are not reading the room because you are back there making coffee.
Yes, because I got G-Man, who I sent out to the Lionsgate. Do I need to say more?
Polyamorous.
There you go. There ain't no Polly nothing. Polly want a cracker.
Really? You watching back there?
They all happy. Are you happy? Did Freddie take care of you or what? Oh, yeah, you didn't even want some and you got some.
Overly generous.
I asked for whiskey and got water. I don't know what happened there.
You know, I gotta tell you, I don't, that's because you're Jesus turning
You know
into wine.
what? I got water and I got wine.
Listen,
pulled the reverse
I may have
Jesus,
whiskey.
okay.
You didn't tell me that. I forgot you drink whiskey. You got whiskey? You
She's
got
ready.
Whiskey? You got whiskey in your bra? What do you got? Where do you got it? You got it in your car?
So
Oh, man.
she's
And
not
it-
only the crew, she's the
and-
plug.
And it begins. All right. Don't use the poly word anyway. I wanted to bring back because a friend of ours, who was one of our very first interviews going back when we were at iHeart 9 years ago,
Okay.
is Sharon
Pfeffer.
Pfeffer, buy a piper, whatever.
Yes.
Tomato.
So Sharon posted Boca
Brooklyn to Boca.
Brooklyn to Boca. They're doing a play in Meisner Park.
I did the movie poster for that.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm bringing it up, because I know you did.
I forgot I did that.
You don't need no more whiskey. You're done. So the poster, right? So she sends out this thing. So I call her. And kidding around, I say, I want to be in the play.
Oh, boy.
He should, don't you
Yeah,
think?
I agree.
100%.
So she says, oh, my God, put in the thing. And all right. So I sent her a blank piece of paper with a dot that says, I don't have a resume. That's it. You got to come down. So anyway, so I gave it to a couple of people. I think Alicia applied, and I think she got an appointment to go audition, yes?
On Monday, I'm going to see her.
Oh, awesome.
And Alicia's going to audition, and she's going to knock it out of the park. But that is
You know what?
available.
I hate auditions.
Well, you have to
hate it.
try out first. You got to try out, and you get the part. There's 17 parts up for grab if you want to be on a play. So I don't want to do that. With my luck, I'll get it. And then I'll be stuck with this thing. And then I got to read lines. Now, I was going to ask you, because you do movies, do they give you lines to read?
Yes.
Yeah, you get a script.
Yes.
And you got to memorize it?
Yes.
And what if you don't memorize it?
No, there's no what. You got to memorize it.
That's why I'm not going to go. I cannot. They had a commercial in here. They put all these paper towels and all this stuff that I was supposed to say. I couldn't even see it. I can't do that. I can't remember
It was before we
lines.
had a teleprompter.
That's a ghetto teleprompter. I'm just-
Exactly. It was old school.
Bro, this was South Bronx at its height.
And then you couldn't see it.
So I said to her, I said, give me one-liners. Yes, no, and let her do all the talking. Yes, get the product. No, don't get the product. I can't do that. How do you do a movie? They don't give you any leeway to like create your own lines?
No. Well, sometimes some directors do. Thank God.
If you're off book well enough and they trust you with your character selection, then
Yes.
you have to be off book first.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. If I go in there, I think hell will break out. Because I ain't gonna listen to nobody.
He will be off book with the
Off
entire
book.
time.
Freddie, did
What
you
book?
read
just
the
ad-lib the
character
whole thing.
breakdown, though? There's characters and they explain kind of who they are. And I think that you fit a couple of them. You're
What-
New York. You've got, you've got the goods.
Well, they got mobster pieces. You know,
That came out wrong, right?
Yeah, that really did.
They got some.
Okay.
You know, but they got some. But they got some mobster pieces, and I know a couple of mobsters, and they don't speak English.
Yeah, they talk like this. Say, you
Not
know
even.
what?
Not
I can
even.
do
They use
Frank
the
Sinatra.
they use
I
the
can do
hand
it.
signals. You fish down.
You know,
Look
I
at
think
Frank got that.
I'm glad that I got to work with a lot of the directors that do give you a little bit of leeway. They allow you to say the line comfortably. So, you know, using verbiage that kind of fits the character of whoever it is. But yeah, it's important to remember the lines. But you know, it was funny because I was really, really nervous about working with Tyler Gallant on it was Rise of the Hustler, and so we had scenes together. And you know, I've seen him act. I've seen his other films, and you know, this guy's he's good. He's a real Hollywood guy. You know what I mean? So I was like nervous. You know, I was like, man, this guy's not gonna screw up his lines. I got to make sure I know mine. So we get up there, and my character's name is Miguel, and his line is supposed to be like, "You're a good man, Miguel." And this guy looks dead at me and goes, "You're a good man, Kenny." And I go, "Thanks, but I'm Miguel."
Or you land a role, right? Like Carlito's Way. I had a piece in Carlito's Way, and they wanted me to be from the streets from the Bronx. I said, well, that's easy.
That's easy.
That's where I live anyway. And they had all these proper lines. And I said, no, I can't be doing Margaret on, and that's not the way it is. So they said, okay, you got to move. Because I wouldn't follow a script. So it's not the first time. And the way I did it, they thought it was hilarious. It says, yo, you're too funny for the part. The hell can I be too funny for the part? If you live in the Bronx in the street, you're always funny. It's how you got to chase the cops one way and where you look the other. But I was going to ask Rich as well. Rich, you've been in pieces. You ever get a part that you don't fit in because you know it better than even the directors? What do you do?
Well, okay, so a lot of the directors that I've it's funny because you're like over here, but my camera's over here.
Yeah, look at the camera.
So,
Talk to me
yes,
to
I'll
the
look at
camera.
I've worked with a lot of the directors that and they trust me. They trust me, you know, when I'm developing my character, and they know that when I get on set, I'm going to be off book. But every so often, I'm doing my lines, and I think, you know what? my character would probably say this, and I'll just come out and say it. And if the director likes it, they'll keep it. If not, then they'll say, you know what? Yeah, I kind of like it, but let's go back to the original line, and that's what they do.
So you work through it.
Yeah, you absolutely you work through it.
I went to
think
see
the
a film
director-
Richard was in one time, and I was sitting behind him, and his character was so good and creepy that I wanted to hit him.
Yeah,
I was sitting
yeah.
there.
Afterwards,
I was sitting there,
he's like,
and I thought,
dude,
I was
I know
mad at
you're
you.
a good guy, but I just wanted to punch you in the back of the head.
I did.
And I'm like, well, thank you. Yeah, I played oh yeah, no, that character was No. I was playing the head of like this work camp, and I was just being really verbally abusive to this woman there, and he's like, man, I just want to punch you in the back.
So good.
And I'm like, okay,
I didn't like him.
Yeah.
He plays an excellent douche.
Rich, tell us about Florida Arts
my
Network
favorites.
and how you are all working with Kenny on Sunday. Because you're one of the foundations working with the networking of brunch.
Well, we're marketing it as well with Kenny, so we're putting it through our people, and
Yeah.
I've been marketing on Facebook and Instagram, and telling all our people to come down, all the Florida Arts Network people to come down and join us.
And what's happening with Florida Arts Network?
What's happening with Florida Arts Network?
You guys have events happening, and Neville, careful the light behind you.
We've got something coming up in November. Maybe.
It's actually a fundraising event, and Florida Arts Network is one of the charities that is going to be there and will benefit from the event. But there's going to be several. We were asked to represent, so yeah, we got that going on.
All right, so what is Florida Arts Network for people who don't know?
I'm sorry?
What is Florida Arts Network for people that don't know?
Okay, so Florida Arts Network is a 501c3 nonprofit that focuses on the arts, right? But in a couple of different aspects. One being that we want to help kids that maybe don't have a creative outlet in school, and we want to help with that, either working with specific schools or finding students that are super talented and maybe helping them with, like, for example, if a kid is good at dance, right? But, maybe they can't afford dance classes. I know a bunch of choreographers, and I could say, hey, how much would it cost us to put this kid in dance classes for 6 months? That kind of thing, right? And the other thing that we like to do, and we do it through the Artist Loft, is we like to bring people on the show that are already creating the part, people that are involved in the film industry and art, whatever it is, and talk to them about, what were some of the hurdles that they had to overcome, what do they have coming up, and promote them. And in telling their stories, it may encourage somebody else that is thinking about, maybe I could put my film in a film festival like Flow, or something like that. So that's kind of what we want to do.
But what's the ultimate game? Are we trying to get the film industry back into Florida? I mean, it's difficult because they don't have the tax incentives.
Right. Yeah, it does make it difficult, because any film that is going to be produced, it's all about the bottom line. It really is. People want to make money. Investors want to make sure that they're going to get their money back. There's going to be a good return on their investment, and the incentives kind of helps secure that. If you don't have the incentives, it makes it more difficult, because you have to find money in other ways, like maybe product placement, that kind of thing, and hoping that you can generate enough private equity that way, or enough income that way. So, but it's not just about film. When Rose Warner and I started the Florida Table back in 2010, the focus was the film industry. But when Frank and I restarted it as the Florida Arts Network, we decided to expand, and so it's not just film anymore. Now it's art, it's music, it's anything that's creative.
All the genres of art.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I got to ask because we met some people from California, Atlanta, that want to raise money on a different philosophy. Maybe it's not. Maybe you know this better than anybody. So what they're doing is that they're taking low-budget films and they're blowing them up. So if it takes you $100,000, $900,000 to do a film, and then they produce $8 million at the box office and revenues and all the other streaming networks. The object of the game now is to put it on airlines and everything else. Then you got a one-hit wonder. So this company introduced us to something called Horrors 101 or something like that. So they raised $8 million to do 5 films with $8 million. One of them is in the movie theater now, and it's made about $4.5 million. So if you add up the numbers of what you're going to put into a movie, and they're not using famous actors anymore, they're using the new actors, people from school and things of that nature, and then everybody gets healthy on the investment, so they're making more money with smaller numbers. And it's events like yours, it's events on the things that you guys are doing that they're sending feelers out. He's still sending me, when's the next networking party? I was going to talk to you because I wanted him to come and meet people.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you guys have to sell what's going on. When I was going up to Pennsylvania, I had to go to Atlanta. Atlanta is not as strong right now for actors because every Uber driver was an actor.
Yeah.
And they were telling me,
Yeah.
and they're telling me it ain't all that anymore in Atlanta like it used to be.
Yeah.
So what they're looking for now is to get compensated. They're doing pieces here and then putting it in other studios to finish it off. So this is a golden opportunity for things like what you're doing and what they want to do. You just got to write the people that are involved in these decision-making pieces.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing is you get everybody down here producing something and going to these events and going into these films and everything. Eventually, what's going to happen is all these other states and cities are going to say, hey, I like this person, I like this person, shot this, or this person acted, or I like the outfits that they wore here. And so that's the whole thing, is to be able to bring it up. I know that it'd be great to have the incentives and everything, but right now it's almost a gift that there are no incentives because the people that are not about it, they walked away from it. And so now you have the people that are still in it. They're still in it because they're like, no matter what, this is my passion, this is my art, this is my craft, I'm going to be excellent at it, whether or not I'm getting incentives or not.
Yeah.
And those are the people that we want to reach, be able to help them, push them to get to that level that they want to get to or that they can reach.
And now the South American market's coming up to Miami, so that's helping out too.
Yeah,
That's right.
And there are a lot of indie filmmakers here that can do a film for under $1 million.
Yes.
And that's a really good point because this drive towards having, fashion and music and everything in film has been really, over the last 2 years, building momentum. When we launched during COVID, we were the only platform. So everybody from radio to, Ultra Music Fest to Art Basel, they all came to us to have a voice and just have somewhere they could showcase at that time. And that has led us into this right now. And I think one of the things that's so valuable about us not having strong incentives all over South Florida is that it provides us with a unique opportunity to collaborate across the board with everybody. And as Kenny was saying, the fashion is ours, the art is ours, the music is ours. And a lot of the projects I'm working on right now is exactly that. Like now we have a BMI account through Sony because we are developing artists and having them come and do our scores, creating original music, getting them in label contracts.
Yeah, and Kimberly, you are such a huge promoter of indie works through your Flow Film Festival and everything. It's just all year long. You try to promote indie artists, and it's like hats off to you, girl.
Oh, thank you. But
She's my best friend.
Yeah, no, she's my best friend.
Oh my
Mine.
God.
How about mine? Mine.
No, but it's great, and being able to cross all the genres and of art, and being able to now, this last summer, we just started our Strong Youth Outreach Program, which has been more disadvantaged youth, and you guys were a part of that with Tinkerbell's Kids, and we taught that little workshop on production. But we are in the prisons, doing it with young men. We are getting traction there, and, building that base is so important. So one of the great things I found, I don't know if you're familiar with the 48-hour film project. It's completely insane. It's a festival, and you have 48 hours to take an idea from script
to screen. Like
I think G-Man, didn't he do that for an assignment? You guys had 48 hours in school.
In school they did. That was
Yeah.
the-
Oh.
You doing that,
She
Danny?
did it.
Yeah, those
Who's done
those
the
are
48?
insane.
They're
I've
crazy.
done a couple of those.
They're crazy, but then we have
Crazy.
Kenny who did our
Maybe.
poster. You know, we
Yeah.
have Michelle who's our lead actress.
But,
Like,
But I gotta tell
And Kimberly
you,
was an
when
amazing
we were
producer.
at iHeart 8 years ago, I said to Dawn that we should create a record label, and everybody thought I was nuts. But the reason is they just dropped another. CC just did a song with a collaboration with Johnny Mac, and I heard it, and you're gonna be hearing it in a couple of weeks, and it's phenomenal. So I gotta go to somebody like him, and he knows somebody that maybe could use it in the movie. It happened to Kendra. Kendra now is all over that show on television. And so they took it to Vegas to do a soundtrack.
Nice.
Rosa just got picked up for a soundtrack as well. So sometimes it's clothing, sometimes it's the right shoes, sometimes it's the right music. But there is so much talent that doesn't it gets choked off.
Yes.
This is why I love what they do, because it gets choked off and you don't hear it. So I talked to Vic at South Florida Oldies, and he's kind enough to let me play my own thing, my own music, anything I want to do. And he calls me sometimes, like he did with Rosa. He says, "Okay, where'd you get hurt?" Or he'll say to me, "Freddie, no, this ain't a Latin station. Don't play Latin music," but he plays it.
Yeah.
He plays
You know, apparently if you do this, it shows how old we are.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
no one does
Yeah.
this for a phone
It's
anymore.
supposed to be like this.
This, yeah.
How is
so-
it?
Like this. Like,
Just
like,
like-
you're
like
holding
you're
a
just
cell
holding
phone.
I can't do that because this is commercial break. So hold it like this.
Yeah, apparently when you do this, it means that's how old we are that we remember a real phone.
Yeah.
It's still the same
Yeah.
thing? Actually,
Yeah.
it's still the
No,
same
it's
thing.
So when you get in your head, when you
It's like when you do the heart, you know, and if you do it like this instead
heart
of
thing.
like that, you know.
Yeah, Rich is
Oh,
like
yeah, that's
this.
the other one.
Rich is the heart thing. This is Rich's heart.
Yeah.
But thank you for pointing that.
Just saying, it made me think back and go,
Now I also what happened?
they're saying we're old.
Who said that?
I don't know.
We'll find out. Now I also found out that Michelle, there's a poster of you that I saw that you landed a movie.
Yes.
Or something.
So we'll be premiering on September 28th. It's called
Where?
Butcher's
Savor
Bill.
Cinema?
Yes, Savor Cinema.
Okay, so when were you going to let us know?
Today.
now, right now.
That's why we're here.
But it's funny because I saw it a couple of weeks ago.
You
And
saw
you
it.
mentioned nothing. And your best friend over there, Alicia, nobody mentions nothing.
They were holding out on you.
Holding out.
Are you both in the movie?
No, I tried for both, but I got Michelle.
Yeah, she got me.
So
Please.
tell us about
I
what you're
tried for
doing in the
both.
movie.
You were
Stop
busy.
pulling teeth.
Tell us about the movie.
Tell us about the movie.
Well, Kimberly was an amazing producer, first of all.
Thank you,
So
thank you, thank
best producer.
And the
and
director
Kenny,
was
Alex
Moreno. He was amazing.
Yes.
It was wonderful to work with. We started shooting Friday.
Yep.
Yeah. What? It was 48 hours.
Well, we didn't even shoot for 40 hours.
No,
It went
no.
really well. Like, we organized the Friday night for a couple hours, like 4 hours. And the next day, I think within 6 hours, most of the cast was wrapped. So it was a really laid-back shoot for what it was.
Yeah,
supposed to be.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alex
great
told
shoot.
me about it.
But Kenny did the beautiful
Kenny
poster.
killed the poster, yeah.
Amazing.
It took about 48 hours to do the poster.
I was like, man, he's on our time.
Does anybody know what it was about?
It's about
It's a dark
educator.
comedy.
It's a dark comedy about an educator whose attempt on his wife's life goes wrong.
And guess what Michelle's role is?
The wife.
What is Michelle's role?
The wife.
The what?
The wife. The wife that's.
And what does she do?
She beats the crap out of the husband? I don't know. What
You'll
she
just
do?
have to
You'll
watch
have
it.
to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
out on
You
September
see my
28th.
earrings falling off every.
Oh, Kimberly, let me ask you a question. If someone has a script
Yes,
and they want to bring it to fruition, do you help do that?
absolutely.
You have all the players that
I have everything, and that's what I was going to say. Like, one of the things with the talent development, I realized is that what affects our incentives here is that people will have to come here and find stuff. If you have crews ready to go and you have competitive package pricing, right, to execute, you don't need an incentive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you don't have to bring everybody from where you are here. We have all the talent right here. All you have to do is show up with your script.
Yep.
And in the interim, during the summers, we're developing the youth talent and getting them exposure. We're teaching them to write. We're producing films based on their ideas. We're producing documentaries about them, but starting to build that base is what's going to make the difference. I mean, we're a turnkey solution here. We're ready to go. We have locations.
Yep.
We have crews for not just pre-production. This 48-hour film festival film that Michelle's in, I built a very dynamic post-production team. Like, I've never done that in South Florida before. I didn't know we had that here. I had an editor on set editing as we shot.
Oh, wow.
That was the first. To have a rough edit by the time you wrap that night, you already have an assembled edit. Like, it was nuts. So this kind of talent exists here, but unless you're doing the things, you don't find them. So I've got teams ready. If you have a script, I've got two production, and a post. We're ready to go. I've got people, if we need to send off for different VFX CGI stuff, we can do that too. But more and more, all this talent is being accumulated right here. So we don't have to send off to LA for this or that or bring people in for any of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible how much talent we have here. I'm constantly getting calls, hey, I need a good editor, I need a gaffer, I need a deep, we have it all here.
We have it all here.
Yeah.
And that is something that is so obvious because I've noticed that everybody who leaves Florida always comes back.
Yep.
Alicia.
Prodigal people.
Yeah, prodigal people.
Especially when they get to a certain age.
Excuse me?
Ralph Moretti's showing a film festival.
Ralph Moretti?
Show.
Oh.
Yes.
The Ralph Moretti. Oh.
I know. See, that's something
So-
we need to finish working on.
Yeah,
We need
but
to finish.
is Ralph Moretti ready?
One episode will be a short film.
Yeah.
One episode could be
I can do
career.
it. I can do it. You just
All right,
just
we're
let
going
me
to
know
take a
when.
commercial break.
I'm ready
there.
too.
More
Yeah,
information on the other
control.
side of
You
this
guys
break
have
while
to
they're going to
Absolutely.
chit-chat. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Reel it in.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you. Call 800-978-4815. That's 800-978-4815. Call now.
Amp Media Productions presents to you The Taste of Italy at Boca Raton's newest restaurant, 388 Italian Restaurant by Mr. Sal. Join Don and Freddie S. every Monday night from 5:30 to 7 p.m. for a special collaboration with Amp Media Productions and the True Oldies radio station. Head over to 388 Italian Restaurant for a night of delicious Italian cuisine, an open bar, and live music entertainment with Don and Freddie S.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? With MedGuard Alert's new Care Watch, you can connect with medical professionals instantly, 24/7. No cell phone required. This life-saving medical device acts as a phone as well as a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And if you have Medicare or Medicaid, you may qualify to get yours free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Now we're back.
Ready to go over here? Talk to.
Do you always jump a puddle like that?
Yes. Because I
Don't
know
you-
Hannah has to leave.
You ever seen a plane take
She
off?
told me she had an hour and a half, and we're over the hour and a half.
That's okay. Hannah's ready to rock and roll. We'll follow her out the door of the camera we have to. But, you know, a plane sort of takes off and sort of lands. You're like a helicopter.
Pretty much.
Take it easy. All right. Now that we've done that,
Go ahead.
Where would you like to go?
I'm right
Are you
behind.
blasting off with Hannah and talking to Jay?
Didn't you enjoy some of the new? I got more, but we'll go in this direction. Let's talk to Hannah.
We're going to go in this direction for a little bit. I want to see what Jay got. Josh brought this amazing shirt for Jay.
Where'd you get that?
You will be seeing this soon.
Look at that.
Check this out.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, nice.
Is that your artwork?
No, but I sure like it.
So you're going to replicate?
It's the Beatles.
No, but I sure like it.
He may come up with a whole new Beatles series now.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to be
Wow. Talk about copyrighting this. No, we're not going to be copying it. It's just coincidental.
Isn't it nice though, Josh? But Josh is like,
It's not copywriting, it's copy arting.
Jay likes the Beatles, so Josh got him a
Inspired
shirt.
by yes.
This whole thing is starting out. Anyway, nice shirt, Jay. Nice shirt. But Jay's shirt, if Jay does have his artwork, which is the pencil art stuff that you see all around, I think you once put it on a shirt, if I remember correctly.
Just hold your mic.
I think
Use your mic.
I think on a T-shirt I had something, but I have on my website. You can go there and you can see my artwork. It's www.coloredpencilsartist.com. You can go there, and all my artwork is available to be put on shirts and caps and prints and
Maybe
you name
we
it.
change it like CPA or I don't know.
Yeah, I could shorten it.
Colored pencil artist.
Wow. Puerto
You
Ricans
gotta make
have a
sure
hard
there's a
time
D
with your
and an S. Things to do.
colored pencil.
Do we have a camera for Jay and Hannah? Oh, they got to change the cameras. There you go. All right.
There you go. That's good.
And Jay, you've got a show today. Unfortunately, Sally is not feeling well again, but still, I should say, hopefully she'll be back on Monday.
Well, I just asked to the back. Are we good, ladies? Are we good? Look at that. We got a show ready.
We got
to
a
go.
show?
Got Michelle and Kimberly.
Right.
I see 2 thumbs going up.
You're gonna
Right.
have
Yes,
you're gonna have
way
a
up.
double header, one co-host, one guest, and then they're gonna switch.
And then
chairs
swap
up to
out.
come-
That's great. You know, we
You
like
really
that.
need a
Make
third
it
one.
more fun.
Yeah.
Very
Taking
nice.
Dawn shoes.
You don't worry too much.
I know. I worry a lot. And Hannah decided to stay for your blast off.
And Hannah, now I'm gonna tell you.
Here I am.
You gotta
And she's
separate.
here.
The funny.
Yes.
Alicia,
Yes?
stop. Stop.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you never do. Everybody in jail tells me they never did it. Anyway. So
A lot of innocent people in jails.
now there's a great story that goes with her. There's a great story that goes with her. They all of a sudden got a new twist today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Did you hear what she just said? Why don't you tell Dawn what you told me about your future?
Well, I've been in this contemplation of like, where am I moving? What's, I really follow like the intuition of my soul, and now Florida is very much in my consciousness. I'm like, what are you telling me, God? What do you want me to do? So I'm just deeply listening. Most people are trying to figure out in their mind, like, okay, is it supposed to be this place? Is it supposed to be that place? And I see my analyzer mind is kicking in, and at the same time, I'm like, but how can I actually deeply listen? Because I believe when we get present and actually listen, the answer will come and reveal itself. Right now, the clarity is not there, so I am a little bit in a flux, but I'm just following the rhythm of life.
Now, with all that being said, you came to visit from Austin.
Yes.
To my mom, who owns a very big jewelry store. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Jewelry, not jewelry store, right? You got to correct me.
I'm waiting.
Don't just nod. Nobody hears that.
Jewelry company.
Thank
Jay
you.
Ortman.
Jay Ortman, there you go.
125-year-old jewelry company.
And they
Fifth
custom-
generation. Hannah's the 5th generation.
I'm the 5th
which is
generation.
pretty
Wow.
remarkable. But it gets better. Wholesale diamonds.
Oh, yes.
Wholesale. No middleman. Wait, did I say wholesale?
Yes, twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone's looking for a diamond or a precious gem or a semi-precious gem,
Such a deal.
She's actually making a piece for me because, surrounded by joy, of course, I had to buy something. So I
Straight
was
out the
hoping
mine.
I'd get it today, but not yet.
But if you're from New York and things of that nature, you're sort of familiar with the way they do things up in New York when it comes to the jewelry. I've never seen anybody who tailors it this way. But to get back to the story, so that's why she came to visit, say hi, Mom, and everything else. And she lives in Austin. So she comes on the show. We did a show on Monday, and there was jewelry all over the place and yada, yada, yada. And I said to her, you should come and do a show for the radio, right? And she did it. So
And she said, I can't. I'm going home tomorrow. And Freddie said, well, if you cancel your flight, I have a deal for you. And you know Freddie to love Freddie. So she walks in Monday night to our networking event, and she says, I canceled my flight. I'll see you tomorrow. We're frozen.
Way to call Freddie out. Like, go ahead, show me what you're working with.
that's because of the shirt. Refresh it.
He looks like he's sleeping.
Break into commercial.
We might not be able to. So we'll see. Okay.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, your family, your business, your peace of mind, you need reliable fire protection. Introducing All Fire Extinguisher Depot, Fire Extinguisher Service. Our certified technicians ensure your extinguishers are always ready to respond to emergencies. Before and after, we leave your fire safety in top-notch condition. Join the many satisfied clients who trust All Fire Extinguisher Depot for fire extinguisher service. Because when it comes to fire safety, there's no compromise. Contact All Fire Extinguisher Depot at 786-704-2750 to get your extinguisher service today. Your safety is our priority. That's at 786-704-2750. All Fire Extinguisher Depot, protecting what matters.
Has your heater busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW Home.
Life's been pretty worry-free since I got covered with ARW Home. Don't waste thousands of dollars on air conditioning, appliance repair, and replacements. Save that money with ARW Home. Protection plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. I called ARW, and they came out and fixed it right away.
Get your free quote today. Call or go to arwhome.com now.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call, so please call right now.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Take 5 minutes of your time right now. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
The owners of Amp Media Productions and the Brooklyn Cafe show, Don and Freddie S., are excited to announce the launch of its new nonprofit educational charity, the Amp Media Futures Foundation. This foundation gives college students the tools that they need by providing them hands-on learning experiences in business, marketing, communication, and media creation. To donate or volunteer, contact AMP2 Media Productions by email at info@ampfutures.org.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back, and no, I'm not sleeping. In this regard, the man behind the curtain.
All right.
All right, so we're getting back to the
We're
story.
getting back to the story of she
So
did not leave on Tuesday.
She did not leave on Tuesday, and she's decided to stay here. And then we had these gentlemen come into studio, because I still think that she's going to leave somewhere to go back to Austin. So I said I want her to be an ambassador for them, because for those of you who do not know her, and I'll let her talk for herself, she does all sorts of health and coaching and things of that nature. We'll get into what she does. But this product is all about the health. And it's important to me as a diabetic why this product is so, it's needed in our community. And starting next week, we're going to be promoting it. And I thought that she was going to take it to Austin, and we're going to do it in different states and what have you. So anyway, so she comes in this morning, and what did you tell me?
I said, Florida, moving back here, because I lived here for 8 years, and I love it, is more in my possibility, is in the realm of possibility right now.
So it looks like she's not leaving for a little bit.
For a little bit?
For a little bit. So we're going to, now what's going to happen is you got people in here who do movies, and they're always casting people, and there's all sorts of stuff. And the more you promote and you do what you do, you never know what can happen.
Well, I think now you at least have to stay through Sunday through the networking event, right?
Of course.
So now you have to stay at least till Sunday.
I haven't booked my flight yet, so.
And if we can get her on the terrorist watch list, she ain't going nowhere.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Friday nights.
We can make this happen.
And that's what used to happen every Friday night, yeah.
That's about it. So you just go with the flow. But I'm bummed.
Go with the flow. You see what
And,
you did there?
and it's funny because we should have the flow game. So everybody has to have a drink, and every time you use the word flow, you got to take a shot.
There's many ways you could use the word flow, though.
Well, I'm thinking about one way. It's just when you say it.
There's so many other ways.
Wow.
W.
It is. It's wolf. Dyslexic people have more enough.
I didn't put that in the mic, okay? I'm sorry.
This is why we keep it in the
like
closet, and we
autoscope
don't let it
inside
out.
out.
Don't break
Yeah.
the seal until you need.
But Hannah did a great job on Tuesday where you did a show that we aired.
I did, yeah. It was on Tuesday.
What kind of feedback did you get?
It was awesome. And people are like, you're just, my presence. Like, I'm very passionate when I speak about the work that I do because I know how much it transforms people's lives. I know how much people are suffering on this planet. And part of my purpose and my mission here is to support people to really find peace. I think if I were to put everything I do under an umbrella, it's like deep internal peace.
So what's in the bag and what does it do?
She
I
doesn't
need
have
to know.
anything to do with the bag yet. She's an intimacy coach.
No, the bag is something different.
Oh,
But I'm
okay.
glad you brought that up because that's exactly the way I sell it. What's in the bag?
What does it do?
Did you buy some grams?
Right, so you are
No.
intimacy and...
Yeah, so I do intimacy coaching, relationship coaching, and support people connecting with their higher selves.
So after you buy the ring from her mother, you can then contact Hannah for the intimacy to keep the love alive.
Well, if the ring is good enough, you're going to get the intimacy, isn't it? Wow. I said that out loud.
Or the other way around.
Wow.
I think that mushroom bag works.
And then you get the
really
ring from her
intimacy
mother.
we're talking
Either way, however it works.
I have nothing to do with it.
The mind of a girl.
I have nothing to do with that either.
Exactly. Lucky you.
Lucky me. But the funny thing is the way things work out. Her mother came here to do the jewelry piece, and then she came along, and these guys came after all of this. And the bag of nutrition and all that is something that we're going to talk about when I get the commercials and everything. They just signed on yesterday. But I thought that she was a good spokesperson for it because of the things she does health-wise, how to maintain your health, and the spiritual as well as physically and the whole 9 yards. And we talked about a shrink and what she does are two different people, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I would say the distinction is I actually share a lot of my personal experiences with my clients, so they have a reference point for something they're going through. So I share a lot of like my own story in relationships, things that I've navigated, so that they can understand like, oh, this is how you've worked through it. I know that I can too. And it's really, I take the mind, body, spirit approach, because it's like, you can't just focus on the physical or just the spiritual. It's the holistic picture that I have found that's really supported people coming into wholeness with themselves.
You gotta have balance. Now, everybody in here, one time or another, you've had to have a bad relationship, right? Or you had a great relationship. Maybe that's an easier question. And sometimes how to maintain that is harder.
Or the relationship with yourself.
Well, I've been known to do that as well, but just saying.
I don't think he needs coaching for that one, Don.
No, I will
need
take.
to give him a hand for that one.
I will take coaching on that as well, but thank you very much for playing. Foot in mouth. That's on you. I didn't tell you to bring that up. You know what you gotta say? Say flow.
Go with the flow.
L'chaim.
Freddie's just gonna keep saying flow.
Let it flow, let it
Let
flow,
it flow, let it flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just thinking.
Stop.
Yes, relationship
Don, you're actually
with
right.
yourself. Yes, absolutely.
That's where I start with
Right to
most
the
people.
That's where she starts.
That's
a
where I
good
start.
place.
It
That's
is
where you
all
finish.
about the
I know.
relationship with self first.
That's right.
That's what I talked about, I think, a little bit on the show, is if you're coming into a relationship not feeling fully whole or worthy, that's where I see a lot of the enmeshment and codependency and, just things that where there's friction. So you get to, yes, work on the relationship with self continuously, even if you're in partnership with someone else.
That's right. Friction and self, they work very well.
You work with different age groups, and
Yes.
if you do, then what? Do you notice a difference in the older people and how their reactions are to relationships versus the younger people and how their upbringing is?
I would say in the older generation, some people are just a little more set in their ways. And there's also curiosity and openness too, when they're like, I've been doing this for a long time and something's not working. So I always just invite people into a new possibility of a different perspective. I teach people a lot around communication. And so articulating what your needs, desires, triggers are from a place of responsibility, from a place of love versus projection, blame, and shame, which is what happens a lot sometimes in relationship. And it's very subtle as well. People don't realize how they're projecting their own pain or trauma onto somebody else.
Now, have you written a book?
No, not yet.
You've co-authored in a book.
I have co-authored in a book, yes.
So you've written a book.
Yes, so I co-authored a book with 11 other women.
I Googled you, and
Oh.
I'm thinking she hasn't mentioned that she's co-authored a book.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. I was actually the first chapter. It was called From Suppression to Liberation. And it was about when I was in a relationship that on the outside looking in, everything was all perfect, hunky-dory, was fully supported financially, but deep down, my soul was suppressed. I wasn't really being authentic to myself. And I had to walk away from, what I thought was the rest of my life. And it was really hard. But on the other side, I was so much more free, so much more liberated, and I had to be true to myself. But I would say, in the chapter I wrote, how I feel like a lot of women would have stayed because I had everything handed to me, and I was with a really good guy. But when I really got honest with myself, I was like, I'm not feeling free, and I'm not feeling connected to myself in this relationship, and I had to choose myself.
Does that ever change?
What do you mean?
Think about it. You're in a relationship. You got everything you want, right? But then there's something inside that's telling you this ain't it. Mm-hmm. Does that ever change? Do you ever say, okay, this is it? And forget about the exterior. I'm talking about the interior. Does that ever heal?
Absolutely. I think when you get really clear on what your needs are, what your non-negotiables are, and your core values, and that can align, that's when there's, I would say, that synergy, that clicking. But a lot of people get into a relationship without kind of going, I call it like the criteria to know, well, are we actually compatible? There can be a connection, but is there true compatibility? And that's where I've had to learn the last, 12 years of being in relationship. Well, okay, I can love this person, but I got to make sure that we're actually compatible for partnership.
We talked about this in the morning show, and there's a theory I used to call the spit or swallow theory. But it's true.
Depends on the establishment, right?
Sometimes you got to do it loogie out the window. But what I'm saying is,
Don't encourage him.
But the reality of life is that you got two
Thank you,
entities,
Richard.
right? Not everybody's always going to be on the same page. And even if you are on Monday, that doesn't guarantee you're going to be on the same page on Tuesday. Somebody's got to give, and somebody's going to take. So that's what spit and swallow means. And I said that on Monday, and everybody called me and said, oh, you can't say that on the air. Why not? Reality of truth sometimes is harsh, right? So you meet somebody, and you see them, and they're fighting like cat and dog, and you open up your mouth and say, yo, this ain't going to work. And then they're married for 40 years. Okay, so I was wrong. But it does happen. Truth, sometimes it doesn't feel or sound good, no?
100%. I'm such a believer that, it's that saying kind of like the truth does set you free, because I know for myself, when I hold on to things, like withholding what I really need to say, like I help people a lot with their expression and their voice and learning how to communicate what they're actually feeling inside. I know for me, when I hold on to that, it's painful. Like I can feel the contraction. I can feel the angst in my system, in my body. And so I'm all about like freeing it so that you don't have to be hiding and, kind of be putting on a mask.
Where's the borderline of like saying, okay, this is selfish and selfless? Because for me, like it took me 20 years to figure it out. I've been married 20 years and, it took a lot to figure it out.
That started on the day you got married?
Man, let me tell you, probably. All the other ones I screwed up, so. But, no, I've had some good ones and, I screwed it up. But my thing is that I think it's a dangerous line, isn't it? To be able to tell someone, hey, listen, if you're not happy, then you need to get out of it. But maybe there's things that they're going to have to adjust and make adjustments with each other and conversate about that so that the relationship can last. Yep. Because I could tell you now that being in a marriage every day is a work in progress. And then you got that whole thing where your body changes. Everything you go through every couple of years, your body changes, and it's like God has a sense of humor. He's like, all right, well, now you guys are together, sync up for the next 7 years. You're going to change in 7 years. And I learned about all that, what the real meaning of that 7-year itch is how your body kind of regenerates itself. Things you didn't eat that you used to eat, you don't eat anymore. Things you found funny, you don't find funny anymore. Jokes that, you were cool with, now you're like, you find them disrespectful. So you have to work through those different changes. And at one point you stop and say, okay, I'm not happy, but I need to make some adjustments. I need to be able to talk to this person so that we can get back on that level that we were at because I think so many people are just ready to throw in the towel, like, oh, we're not compatible. And that's a dangerous thing. So how do you work around that with your clients?
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for asking that. I think it really depends. I think, being in a relationship for a long time, there's, you get to be adaptable when someone, if you're committed to your growth, then you're going to always be evolving. Your person in front of you is always going to be evolving. And so I think it's asking yourself, like, can you still choose this person as they are shifting? And just having that really open line of communication. And agreements might shift. And things are going to shift over time, absolutely. And then I think it's just asking, like, well, what are you devoted to? And it's like, how can we come back to love when there's an argument that comes up, when conflict comes up? What are different tools that we can keep learning? So I think when I see two people just so committed to their growth, individually and as a unit, that's where I feel that's where you can still keep that bond.
Well, look at Frank and Chris. How many years are you guys married?
50 in June.
And how many years are you together?
We'd be 51 in June.
Amazing, right?
Well, then I want to ask you a question, which is different from his answer, which I know already. Your adjustments are a little bit more sensitive than the same adjustments that he does. Because as you get older, you have to start thinking about what you say to somebody else because they don't listen the way they used to. their minds have changed. So you have to compensate for that change. Is that true?
Yep.
See, that's why I never understood why my parents were married 61 years. And I used to ask my father, and he used to make fun of, I don't hear. Hello? What? What you asking me? But I think that he compensated for her changes, and that's that spit and swallow routine. So he compensated because she's changing.
But
with
he had
age.
changed also.
But the change is him to accept that change. You got to be mature to be able to make all these changes, because sometimes you have to put yourself second. And I know what you're saying, you want to be first, but there's a time and a place where somebody has to
You never
feel.
ask your wife what's for dinner while she's mowing the lawn.
That's right. And Frank, I tell you to stop doing
take that as a note.
He's been married for so long because the wife couldn't find the right hitman.
And again, I have nothing to do with that. But it's interesting because you make people think about, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what relationship you want, but if you take it seriously and you sit down and you think about what it is you want to accomplish, there is a way of doing that. But sometimes you have to give up the things that you think you're in a great relationship, and if you're not feeling free, you're not going to do it. But you have to be brave enough to say, you know what, I'm done. I mean, how do you pull that out of the bag and say, I can't, I got to walk away? How do you do that?
Oh my gosh, it's a great question. The first thing that's coming through is just finding that inner strength inside of you and just trusting yourself. And I also agree with you that, of course, being in a relationship, it's not always just about yourself, right? Like of course, you get to consider the other person. And in this particular relationship that I was in, it was just a gut internal feeling. And my intuition started getting louder and louder. And I literally, in my book, in the chapter that I wrote, I talked about how it felt like there was a bowling ball lodged into my stomach. And for 3 days, I was having trouble breathing, sleeping, eating. Like, it was intense. Yeah, and I had to wake up in the middle of the night, go outside, and like scream and rage what was inside of me out, because I was suppressing so much. So when it gets to be that's when you know, like, something is off and I have to listen.
Tough.
Yeah.
Hopefully none of your neighbors are watching through the Ring camera. They're like, wow, she's nuts.
What's happening over there?
Well, I'm sure that other people around you noticed the difference, and they were saying things like, are you okay? What's wrong?
100%. I saw one of my best friends, I think 3 days before, like, I got the clarity I needed to walk away. And she's very intuitive. She's a Reiki healer. And she was working on my stomach, and she was like, hon, you're storing all this grief in your lungs, and that's where you store grief, is inside of your lungs. And she just asked, how's your relationship? And she's one of those friends, if you have a friend in your life that they can just look at you and ask a question and like they can see right through you, she's one of those friends. And when she asked me, I was like, oh, damn. I was hiding. So when she asked me, how's your relationship? She's like, I feel like you're trying so hard to make it work, but deep down you know it's not going to. And that's all she needed to say.
So honestly, can you say that you're more honest with yourself now?
Absolutely. I try as much as I possibly can. When I hide from myself or when I'm not being authentic to myself, I just feel like I can feel my soul, my higher self, like is angry at me. Or like I'm angry at myself because I'm not being authentic to me. It's like I physically can't do it.
Wow. These young kids that you see in the studio, the producers and everything, what they're going through right now with school and home life and trying to make ends meet. I went to the AT&T store and I took Casey with me, and her life is not easy. She has a lot of things bouncing up and down, and then somebody comes along and he wants to save her. And you got to tell her, like I tell my daughters, I would tell my daughter, says, you know what, sit still and watch. And a lot of people are going to save you until they get what they want, and then they're going to move on. Just relax. And that's why God never gave me a daughter, because I'm going to tell you, bro, Bato ain't coming past the door. It just ain't happening. It just ain't going to happen. Yeah. Because we're guys. We play that game, right?
Yeah, man.
Until you get caught, there ain't no more game. So I look at your daughter, I look at Sarah, Linda's daughter, and everything else, and you just got to sit and watch. And I know everybody wants tomorrow, today. You want to be successful. You want everything. But that doesn't mean that when you get it, you're going to be happy if it belongs to somebody else, right? So anyway, that's the story of how this whole thing took place. And we did 388, and there were people that saw the show. And yes, Facebook did have a problem with the streaming platform for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
That we tried everything in our power to overcome. We ended up putting the YouTube videos in there. We are sorry about that. There's nothing we can do about it. Don't call us anymore. Yours was affected as well, but it's up there rolling. But I didn't take the shares and all that down because a lot of numbers came out and those stayed in play. But it's important if you want to talk and you want somebody to talk to. I think that the problem in her world is her age. So somebody like me or Frank, we sort of say, but I'm pretty sure she can help anybody.
She's got a whole generation of people to help.
Yeah.
All right, how do people find you?
Yeah, the best way is through my Instagram. So it's Hannah_Dylan_. And you can send me a direct message there, and it's actually me who answers. And I would love to chat with you if you feel like that's something.
H-A-N-N-A or H-A-N-A?
H-A-N-N-A, no H at the end, _Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N _.
Well, let's take a commercial break. More to come. We'll be right back.
The only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Do you have diabetes? November 20th, 1843, marks the first publication of Charles Dickens' novella A Christmas Carol. This beloved holiday story, originally published in London, has since become a timeless classic that continues to be widely read, adapted into films, plays, and other media. On November 20th, 1958, Jim and Jane Henson officially established Muppets Incorporated, which would later become the Jim Henson Company, marking the beginning of one of the most influential and beloved names in children's entertainment and puppetry. On November 20th, 1976, George Harrison appeared on Saturday Night Live in a memorable episode where he humorously haggled with Lorne Michaels about the famous $3,000 offer to any Beatles member to appear on the show. He also performed Here Comes the Sun and Homeward Bound with Paul Simon. On November 20th, 1977, Walter Payton, the legendary running back for the Chicago Bears, set an NFL record by rushing for 275 yards in a single game against the Minnesota Vikings. This remarkable performance remains one of the most iconic individual achievements in NFL history. On November 20th, 2002, Die Another Day, the 20th film in the James Bond series, was released. Directed by Lee Tamahori, the movie starred Pierce Brosnan in his final outing as the iconic British secret agent, James Bond. The film also featured Halle Berry as Jinx Johnson, a CIA agent and Bond's love interest.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. All right, so there you go. That was the blast off today.
Pretty calm.
There was a couple of other things that
There
I
were some
wanted
other
to
things
talk
you
to.
wanted, you wanted to
I can't
share.
remember.
Talked
Alzheimer's
about
kicking in.
388. You talked about, I don't know, Johnny Melnick and Cece.
Yeah, did you hear the song?
The Collini Wine Bar. What else you got? We're going to kick this off next week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming.
Commitment to change. So what is your commitment to change in the next 90 days?
Oh, that's right. The commitment to change is going to be this thing. But I want to unwrap that next week. I
Okay.
just put out the commercial that shows it's coming. There was something else, but I can't remember what it is. It'll come to me.
So you're
It was
gonna
a lie.
It's a lot. So we're going to be Sunday. We're going to be at the event. We're going to be at Boca Luna between 11 and 3. Come on out and join the fun. See all of this craziness on a Sunday. I don't know what everyone's like on a Sunday. I guess we're going to find out.
It's hungover. So people can walk in as well.
Yes.
So it doesn't
Just
matter.
walk right
Just
in.
walk
It's an open establishment.
My son is coming. Freddie's coming.
Nice.
After he goes to the dentist?
After he goes to the Sunday dentist.
Who
I don't
goes to the
understand.
dentist on a Sunday?
I don't understand
I
how that
don't
works.
know.
I don't know, maybe they're having drinks. I don't know.
Sounds like some kind of mafia thing's going on there. He's got to, change his identity or something.
And it's on a pier, and the damn thing is on a pier, so
The dentist on a pier?
Yeah.
Sounds like a commercial.
Only in my life does nonsense like that take place.
Well, tune in today at 2:30, is it, for Inside the Artist's Mind with Jay
Yes.
Harmon.
Jay Harmon.
Michelle and Kimberly are going to be his guests and his co-hosts. And we're going to see what happens with Hannah because she's still here. So.
That is true.
She's finding her soul purpose. I think it's really interesting because I think a lot of women would have stayed in that situation and then just found an outside source of soul fulfillment, but knowing they were financially taken care of and everything looked good on the outside, all wrapped up in a nice white picket fence.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Hannah knows.
You know what's funny? It's so funny to me
Men are
how-
different than women.
Yes, because men are not thinking about. We don't look at a woman and think about them giving us financial security, whereas women look more at men to
Who
giving
said
them
that?
for. I don't. Most men don't. I mean, you might, but I don't.
You know
It's
why?
just true.
You know why? Because it feels that way better. Let them take care of me for a change. Why
Listen,
not?
I don't want to go to work. I just want to go hunt. You know what I mean? And I don't even
So
know how to
that's
do
the
it.
first problem. You never admit to that.
Exactly, yeah, that whole thing.
But it's okay if they want to take care. Listen, if they want to open the door for me, they can open it all day long. I don't care about that. At the end of the day, the money's going to be spent on the both of you. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then you got bigger problems than you think. If she's spending the money on somebody else, you're in trouble.
But
You're
knowing
spending-
that she connected her soul enough to be true to her, that's why this generation, I think, is different than our generation.
But that's very different.
Yeah, because I lie to me.
Show me the money. G-Man's like, I'll be taken care of. Thank you very much.
Show me the money.
G-Man, there you go. Yeah, G-Man says that. He says he's the biggest, family man. This guy, he gives up the money. He gives up the money. Gives up the money. He says, here, take all of it.
All right, so more to come today at 2:30, and have a great weekend, everyone. I think hopefully we'll be rain-free. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't know. And we'll see you Monday, 9 a.m. drive time. Have a great weekend.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.